Hey coffee lovers, today we're diving into a grinder that has quietly become an all-time favorite of mine, the 1Zpresso J. Now, you might recognize it by its old name, the JX Pro, which made a serious name for itself, but now it's simply known as the J. I guess you could call me the J. Lightly rebadged and refined, same bones, same muscles, with a few thoughtful updates. And hey, if you're obsessed with great coffee gear, as we are at Alternative Brewing, don't forget to check out our Brew Club. It's our loyalty program for coffee lovers like yourselves who want a few perks with their purchases, like exclusive discounts, first dibs on new gear, and rewards that actually add up. We made it for people just like you who care about quality and love a good brew. It is free to join, links in the description down below. Let's now jump into the video. All right, what is the big deal with this grinder, I hear you say? Well, for starters, it is built like a tank. It performs like a champ, and it manages to make grinding your morning dose feel like a ritual instead of a chore. Whether you're into espresso, AeroPress, pour over, or French press, the J's got you covered. Let's unpack why this grinder still holds its ground in 2025. The moment you pick the 1Zpresso J up, the first thing that hits you is its sheer build quality. It is solid. We're talking full metal body, aluminium alloy grind catcher, and a handle that actually feels engineered rather than tacked on. There's a smoothness to everything as well, the threading, the rotation, even the click of the grind dial. Then the anti-slip rubber sleeve around the body, that's not just aesthetics, it generally helps with grip, especially when you're grinding those finer espresso shots. And even the rubber base of the catch cup adds grip and stability. One of those small upgrades that ends up mattering. The J holds 35 grams of beans, which is more than most for a single or a double serving of a pour over or batch brew. Loading beans is easy thanks to the wide hopper design, there's minimal bounce out, and it's smooth going from lid off to lid on. Now the handle, slightly updated from the JX Pro, has that S-bend for compact storage. And once you're done grinding, the grind catcher screws on and off quite flush with a thin thread and a few more rotations. This alleviates the feeling of accidentally removing the catch cup during grinding. Now the burrs that the J uses are a 6-core, 48mm stainless steel conical burr set. Basically the same setup that the JX Pro used. And the grind dial adjustment? While the dial sits under the burrs, less convenient than an external ring, it's still easy to access when switching methods. It's also a stepped adjustment system with 30 clicks per full rotation, and each click moves the burrs 0.25 of a millimeter. And this will comfortably grind for all occasions. Everything from Turkish coffee, if you're feeling brave, through to espresso, moka pot, AeroPress, pour over, and even French press and cold brewing. That entire range is doable within 3 rotations of the dial. You don't have to endlessly spin or reset. It's all accessible and efficient. All right, so here's the part where I grind out in real time to see how fast and how easy it is to grind with the J grinder. And I do have 2 coffee beans here today. I have a filter roast and an espresso roast, so we're going to dial in both. I'm just going to take this all the way back to 0. Which I like to do by holding this. Now I said 30 clicks per full rotation. So you can kind of get the handle in one place, hold it, hold the burrs, turn the handle all the way around, and that's like 30 clicks. Let's try that again. To the point where it stops. That's it, stopped. All right. "30 clicks. We're going to do our espresso first. Start the clock. Easy-presso grinders. I've honestly never disliked a single one of these grinders. The pommel on this handle is so nice. and smooth to hold. I can smell all the aromas coming out of the coffee now. That was easy enough. There we go. I wonder if it's going to suffer the same thing as a Comandante. Always has one little bean left over, but no, this is all good. All right, cool. There's that fine thread. Nothing in the bottom, which is fantastic. I think that was one of the things that 1Zpresso spoke about, was the fact that the thread is so fine and the top of the catch cup extends past the thread quite a lot. So it actually sits inside there and the burrs are further into the catch cup. Something along those lines actually helps with retention in and around the burrs. So they've changed this inside part of the J, from the JX to the J. There was like a little step down to the burrs, but now it's quite flush and the burrs are well inside the catch cup. That's really clean. Nice. The espresso. And then we'll just double it up for the filter, shall we? So that was 30 from the top to 60. Cool, happy with that. Start the clock. Crunchy. We're done already. Almost. There we go. Oh. Those burrs. Those burrs really do make fast, light work. Again, wow, that's super clean on the bottom of that now. It took with it some of the light, the other leftover stuff from the espresso even. That's beautiful. Look at that. It's a gorgeous grind size for, say, like a 2 or 3 cup pour over, I reckon. Sweet. Now, maintenance. Disassembly of this grinder is surprisingly simple for a grinder that feels this premium. Much like any other hand grinder with this grind adjustment setup at the bottom, you keep the handle on, then you wind the burrs all the way coarse. What will happen then is everything will slide out cleanly from the bottom. You've got burrs, you've got adjustment, you've got your burr carrier, and then from the top, you've got your lid, and the axle will slide out too if you wish. Yes. But you don't specifically need to take the axle out. You can clean everything quite easily from here, like the inner burr, the inner burr, the outer burr, and the full body of the grinder. It's quite easy to do to give the interior of the grinder a good clean. And then it's just putting it back together again, which, again, really simple. Let's do that for you now. So we're going to put the handle back on. I'm going to put the spring on first. Then I'm going to place the burrs in. Then I'm going to place the burr carrier on, or the burr, I'm not sure what you call it, the burr seat. Make sure I line it up with the holes sitting in the axle there. There we go. Nope. All right, done. And I wish I knew the official names to all of these things. And the little clicky thing that sits on the bottom of the burrs. The grind adjustment knob, wheel, clicker. Done. But there's an easier way to do this. And we're back to 0. So where does the J fit into the 1Zpresso lineup today? As there are so many 1Zpresso grinders, though they have smartly trimmed down their range to just a handful of models lately. And the J sits comfortably as that grinder that balances power and price. It's more accessible than the K or the J Ultra in both cost and complexity, but it still punches way above its class. And it doesn't have like the magnetic catch cup or the flashy finishes or the exterior grind adjustment. But if you're looking for consistent results, rock solid build, and thoughtful engineering, I think the J is still a knockout purchase. And if you're a beginner starting to play around with espresso at home, or an intermediate barista who wants a reliable travel grinder without skimping on quality, I think the J is a brilliant choice. If you're not paying for that fluff, you're paying for its functionality, durability, and design. There's no carry case, no frills, but everything you need to make consistently great coffee is right here. If you're a beginner starting to brew coffee at home, whether it's espresso or pour over, or perhaps you're looking for a reliable travel grinder without wanting to skimp on quality, the J is a brilliant choice. You're not paying for fluff. You're paying for functionality, durability, and its design. Now, there's no carry case, no frills, but everything you need to make consistently great coffee is right here. So whether you're brewing for your morning ritual or dialing in that stubborn new roast, the 1Zpresso J does deliver. Got any questions on the J or want to compare it to another grinder? Drop a comment below. I answer every single one of them. And if you found this review helpful, give it a big like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. We've got more gear reviews and brewing tips coming your way every week. Thank you so much for watching to the end of this video, and as always, happy brewing.